Hey everyone, we are doing a February roundup of my favorites, and I actually have a couple of, I won't say fails, but they were a little floppy. There were a couple flops. I don't usually come across a lot of products that I don't like just because I'm very selective about what I try, and also because I don't know, there's so many good beauty products out there lately, but there were a couple of things that just like puzzled me. So we'll get to that, but I thought I would get ready with you and show you the products in action. I'm just using the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. This has really grown on me. It's not new, but I just picked it up again recently and I really like it. If you can't tell, I'm really tired. I've been to 3 brand events in the last 2 days, which is a lot for me. You know, I'm not exactly an introvert, but it was a lot of output for me. It was fun, it was amazing, but it was a lot, so my voice is a little hoarse. Okay, you guys know I do my brows first because I like to sort of lay them down before I get product into the brows. Half Magic released their Grippy Brow earlier this month. It matches me, cute, and it's so nice. So it's a clear brow gel, they call it a sculpting gel, and it has this little spoolie applicator. The bristles are long on one side and short on the other side. So basically I like to back comb my brows and then I lay them down as I need. It's different from my usual Benefit brow gel because it's not as stiff. It doesn't dry down to be like a hard gel. It stays moldable for a while, but it really does hold the brows in place. I have been liking a bit more of a natural brow look in my like day-to-day. So I find that this is kind of that perfect balance. It gives me hold, especially when I'm not going for like a fully laminated brow look. So I use the short side to kind of lay things down, and if I need, I use the long bristles to comb through in place. If you want to build up the product, you can. So if you did want to go for a laminated look, I just kind of apply it where I want it and then I press it down as it's drying. And you can see it does give me that hold. Or on this side, I've gone for a more natural sort of look where I'm not pressing everything down, but it just gives me a little lift. Okay, so I just did my base routine because I don't have any new base products. Weirdly, last year I felt like there were so many foundation releases around this time. Right now, not so many, but there are a ton of cheek products, new cheek products out on the market right now. You've seen me use a bunch of them. I've been loving the Milk Makeup sticks, their new contours, as well as their new blush shades. I've been loving the Tower 28 Sculptino in Getty. You guys have seen me use all of these, I think. The new Danessa Myricks Balm Blushes in Jubilee. I've been loving this one. It's such a fun, bright terracotta. Oh, just dropped it and put a huge scratch in it. It's fine, everything's fine. And the new Merit Blush shade in Fox, which is the most beautiful like brownie rose. But I do wanna use the shades that I haven't shown you on video yet. But let's do contour and bronzer first. So there were 2 big contour launches this month. There was Milk Makeup and Tower 28. And in my opinion, they're very different. The Milk Makeup contour sticks are amazing and they're true like cool toned contours. I have 2 of the lighter shades right here. This is Toasted and this is Stoked. You guys saw me use both of these in my Valentine's Day Get Ready With Me. So you can see here the differences. This is the lightest, this is the second lightest. And they're very ashy and like true shadowy shades on the cheek. In comparison, the Tower 28 is warmer, but on me, it's still a neutral bronzer. To me, this has way more golden tones, so it works for my skin tone. And this is the shade Getty, it's the second deepest shade. So you can see compared to these, which have a more gray, almost rosy undertone, this definitely has a more golden undertone. So, you know, they're just different. They're marketed differently. I really like all of them, but I do reach for the Tower 28 more just because I can use it. I don't contour every day, like a true cool toned sculpted contour, but I do bronze every day. So I think these are amazing for that like special occasion, like, you know, cut chiseled cheek look. And this is more of an everyday thing. But I'll show you both of them just so you can get a taste of these things. Actually, let me also show you Milk Makeup Baked next to the Tower 28. So this is baked. You can see it's much warmer. It's a little bit more, I don't want to say orangey, but it's just richer and warmer. So it's Milk Makeup Contours, Tower 28 Sculptino, and then Milk Baked. So you can see the differences. Let me show you how I would contour and bronze using all of these. I'm gonna go very subtle with the contour today because I am just going to see some friends for dinner, and it's just gonna be like a very casual day. So I just did 2 dots, 2 dots, 2 dots. If it were, you know, a full glam day, I would sculpt the jawline, I would do a lot more, but we're not doing all that today. So I'm just going to take my Rephr 04 and just pounce that in. You can see it's so creamy. It blends in basically right away, and it's a really nice shade on me for contouring. It is really cloudy today, so it's pretty, I don't know, the cast is very blue and cool toned in this room right now, but in person it doesn't look so ashy that I look like a skeleton. It's just the right amount, honestly. So you can see like right here where my cheek is, it did chisel that area. I do have a naturally pretty high cheekbone, so I do think there's a bit of natural shadow there, but it did just enhance like what's already there. Then I'm gonna go into Sculptino with the same brush and apply it a little more generously. And I don't know, I just kind of apply this like I apply a bronzer because the shade works for me. I do think that the formula is a lot less dewy than their blushes and their original like shimmery bronzer. That wasn't my favorite. So I'm really glad that they have this kind of slightly edited formula for the bronzer. I think it works nicely, it's not sticky, it just has a natural skin finish. And it just blends out really quick, like that's it. You've seen me use the new Milk blushes on camera in that Valentine's Day Get Ready With Me, so why don't we go in with Merit Fox. I do have a brand review of Merit, and I review this formula. This is a new shade, and I have said it's very sheer, very natural, very dewy. It's not sticky because it's a thin formula, but it is on the dewier side. I'm just going in with my Sephora 56 brush, but I just love this shade. It has some really nice warmth to it. You guys know I love my warm blushes, and I think the brown beigey undertone in this just makes it a really good everyday blush. I'm being very generous with this, but I've just been really into blush lately, and there have been so many releases that it's just been fun to kind of pile it all on. And then to keep things cohesive, sometimes I like to bring it up into my temples. It just kind of gives you a really blended look rather than just having blush like right here. If we want to be a little bit extra, let me show you the Danessa. This shade is a bit more orange in person. It's a little bit punchier. It's kind of like a corally shade. You can see the pigmentation right there. I'm just gonna apply some towards the back of my cheek, just so you can see what that looks like applied. It's a really quick blend. This is the same line as her Blurring Balm like primer thing. I'm totally blanking. It was in my 2022 favorites. I use it as a primer, the sheer one. But this is a similar formula. It just gives you a really diffused appearance on the cheek. I don't have a ton of new eyeshadows in rotation right now. It's been very cheek focused this month, not so much eye focused. I do have a couple of eye things, but not eyeshadows. So I'm just gonna go in with my single eyeshadow, Kosas I.V. This is just a great one and done shadow. It's called a matte, but I think it's more of a satin. It's just enough to give some definition to my eye and kind of sculpt the eye shape and create a bit of lift and definition without being like a statement. Sometimes you just need a little something, and this is that perfect little something. It's a very neutral shade, so it's not too warm, not too cool, and I really just like apply it all over. And I'm using a Rephr, I think this is the 15. Then I'm going in with the other Chantecaille Mermaid Eye color in the shade Copper. Again, not new, an old favorite, but just a go-to that I've loved this month. I don't always have just new things in my monthly favorites. I definitely like to include my like older favorites just because that's how people really use makeup. No one really has like a whole new bag of makeup every month. It's just not realistic, it's not sustainable. We love our old favorites around here. And I'm using a Sonia G soft shader, amazing for this kind of work. It is very soft and it just like buffs out color really nicely. These Chantecaille tints are not for drama. They're for everyday, they're for creating some beautiful radiance across the eye, but they're not your like statement baddie makeup. They're definitely for kind of an elevated, sophisticated, everyday sort of thing. So I just buffed that out like all over the original shade that I put down. So that's Sylvie and then Copper. Just gonna curl my lashes. I have a new favorite mascara this month, and I don't know if it's going to replace my favorite Tower 28 mascara, but it's a good one. I did just try it out in a new makeup video that I think will go up before this one. If not, spoiler, I really like this mascara. This is the Talk Beauty Mascara, T-O-K. They're a newer brand, and I think their mascara is like their main hero product. I do always apply my mascara primers before. This is the Peri Para Ink Mascara Fixer. If I want any mascara to have any chance of holding a curl on my stubborn little lashes, I always apply this primer. So the Talk mascara, it's really interesting. It's like a sticky formula. You can see as I'm pulling it out of the tube, it's almost like a gel formula. It's super interesting. Has a plasticky wand that really combs through the individual lashes, and it's slightly tapered, I would say, but it just gives you the nicest control through your lashes. You're really able to like comb through your lashes to create that fluttery length that I really like. I've also worn this like a few times since that video, and I haven't found any smudging. There's no transfer or anything like that. So I think she's a winner. So this is one eye done, and this is the other eye with no mascara. It's a big difference, I mean, for me, because I have very, very fine lashes. It's also pretty buildable, which I like. Even though it's like fluttery, it still retains that buildability without clumping all the lashes together. It's really nice. So I'm gonna apply this side too. All right, so mascara is done. You can see what an impact that makes, and I'm going to fill my brows. I've been loving the 1999 Beauty Graphite Brow Pencil. This is actually the shade Light, but I like it because I've been going for a natural brow look, as I've mentioned, and it's just a really soft pencil. You've got the pencil on one side, spoolie on the other. It's just enough to create some soft definition, and I do find that this pencil is light enough, or soft enough rather, to create those hair-like strokes. Obviously, it's not gonna be as soft as a brow pen, but it just gives me enough shading through the brow. I do tend to go for a brow pencil that's lighter than my natural hair color, just because once you build up the shade, it kind of looks odd if your brows are really, really dark, at least on me. And then sometimes I just take my finger and kind of move the product through the brows as I need. And it's almost like a powdery look. It's a very matte pencil, so you're not gonna get shine. Just gives you that like shadowy powder look. It's nice. Okay, I do have a couple of eye gems, accessories. So these are all from Half Magic Beauty. They make these face pearls, face gems that are already sticky, so you don't need to glue them to your face, and the glue really holds. But just look at these designs. I've been wearing them a lot lately. So these are their multicolored pearls. Then they have these metallic ones. I wore a bunch of these silver ones yesterday. And then they have some that are neon, classic rhinestones. And then these are super fun. These are spikes. I don't know if you can see or if you can tell, but they're 3D. They like actually stick up. They're so cool. and they stick and they last all day. I am doing a simple look today, but now I kind of feel like putting on some pearls, so let's do that. I'm just gonna take a couple of these teeny tiny white pearls and just put them on the end of my eye. I do like to use tweezers just because I have long nails and I like the precision, but you can truly just place them and they stick. It's so easy, that's it. So that's it. You can apply them wherever you want, all over the face. They're face safe, obviously. They're safe for the skin, and they do stay on all day. It's just really easy. You don't have to mess with like lash glue or anything. For some lip favorites, I have been loving the Hourglass lippies, which I showed you in my trying new makeup video. I especially love these sheer, like melty, sheer balmy lipsticks. And I've been loving the About Face lip butters. I did a whole swatch video lip swatching the entire range. They're amazing, they're click up sticks, and they just like melt onto the lips. My favorite shade is, of course, like a go-to everyday peachy shade. It's called Nashi Pear. But I am gonna line my lips just really quickly. This is the Tower 28 Work of Art. It's honestly like, what is it? It's like a fruit punch berry. I don't know. It's very fruity, it's very sweet. I kind of like it, but I know some people find it a little bit strong. But these are super balmy. They melt right away onto the lips. And of course, this is such a me shade. And you click up, don't click up a lot because it doesn't click back down. But that's it. It's just so easy. I've been carrying these around in my bag because they're also balmy, they're moisturizing, they're really, really nice. So that's it for the makeup. I actually have a ton of skincare that I wanna talk to you about, and I have to tell you about my flops. I feel so sad about these, but I have to tell you. All right, so my aura is confusing today. From the face up, we're like going to a party, let's go to a rave. From the neck down, I am fully in a sweatsuit, but like, that's fine. That's my life these days. I have to tell you about two products that I just really didn't love. I actually did just try these both recently. Well, this one I've been testing for a little bit. This is the Kosas I.V Vitamin Infused Skin Enhancer. Long name. I have the shade Illuminate, which is a light medium champagne. And that alone is confusing because it looks like a deep shade in the tube. And I think there's maybe one or two shades that are lighter than this. But even the lightest shade, I mean, they definitely look lighter on the skin. But the confusing thing for me is the pearl in this. It's very glittery once you like swatch it and wipe it away, or like, sometimes, you know, when you apply it, it doesn't look glittery, but as you're blending it out, the edges look glittery where it gets sheerer on the skin, if that makes sense. I did try this, so you'll see it in another video I mean exactly in terms of application. It's just not my favorite. There are things that I want to love about it. I love the texture. It's like a gel texture. I'll actually just swatch it for you. I love the delivery system. I love that it's a squeezy tube with a pump. My favorite. So it comes out like that, and it's this lotiony texture, but then it sets down, and that part is really nice. And I like that it doesn't move around on the skin, and it does make the skin look really smooth and pearly, but it is a little metallic for my taste personally, just for the day-to-day. And also, I do feel like it's not, the pearl particles are not evenly diffused in the formula. They're a little bit chunky, so you squeeze it out and then you get like a little clump of pearl, and you have to like blend it out in order to get it to apply evenly. And once you do that, it's fine, but I would rather it just come already blended. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think some people may really like this. I do think it looks beautiful on the skin, like once it's applied. It's just not, I don't know, there are just those few things in terms of application and formula that are preventing me from loving this and from picking it up regularly. So I don't know if I will use it a lot over my other glowy primers. My other like not so favorite is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Brightening Concealer. I haven't tried their tinted moisturizer in years, and this is an extension of that line. And I realized the thing that I don't love about this, I'll show you, is it has this like whipped puffy consistency that feels a little chalky. And I think it's because this has SPF 25, which I appreciate. It's in the form of 6.15% titanium dioxide. And I have a feeling that may be why it's a little bit chalky, because of the sun protection that's in this. That said, if you are someone that goes outside a lot, or you want to wear this to the beach, but maybe you want a little coverage, I do think there's like a time and place for this kind of product. It's just not something I'm going to reach for very often, unfortunately. For skincare, there's a lot, and some of it is new on the market, some of it's just new to me. I have a couple old favorites. Something I've been loving, I think I've mentioned this before, is the SkinCeuticals Phytocorrective Essence Mist. So this says it's a skin boosting essence that soothes skin and reduces visible redness. I have loved their phytocorrective serum for a long time. It's calming, it's hydrating. This is obviously in mist form, so it's much more fluid and watery. This has been really nice when I want some hydration in the morning, but because I use tretinoin, some mornings I can't go in with my L-ascorbic acid if I'm feeling a little bit sensitized, and that's when I go for this. I think this also has antioxidants in it, I want to say. So you get that antioxidant protection, but some calming and hydration as well. It's just a really elegant mist, and let me just show you. The mister itself is so satisfying because it's like a long mist. See what I mean? Satisfying. Love that. It also smells really fresh, and I mean, there's no added fragrance, but it has botanical ingredients in it. I am currently, I mean, I've been in a love affair with Kosas I.V, but I'm like deep in it. So these are two old favorites, and this is their like limited edition Lunar New Year packaging from last year. Their First Care Activating Serum. You know I love this. This line uses ginseng and other like hanbang ingredients, traditional Korean herbal ingredients. These are so good. So this is a fluid essence, essentially. You use it as your first step after skincare. So it's like a jelly essence sort of texture. And then this is their concentrated ginseng renewing serum. This stuff will give you seriously bouncy skin. I don't understand it. I wake up with the most like, I don't know, how do I say it? It's not translucent, but my skin just has like a plushiness to it, like a bounce. And so that's the texture. It's a bit richer and stiffer, and it's just the nicest hydrating gel serum. And these will give you serious glow. I mean, that's something that Kosas I.V does so beautifully, is they just create the most like, it has the most luminous effect on the skin. This baby is newer to me, and she's expensive, but man, if you want an indulgence, this is what I would go for. This is the concentrated ginseng renewing cream. This is their like classic packaging, very elegant, very fancy. How beautiful is this jar? This is the texture of the cream. It's rich, but it's not like a heavy occlusive. It just gives you, again, this like really cushiony feel on the skin, and it's not greasy, but it really does fortify my skin barrier, and I can tell. So at night I use this. I also use this in the morning under makeup. It's just a very elegant feel. I mean, there's only so much I can convey through a skincare swatch. And these have that herbal scent that I just find so like intoxicating and nostalgic, because my mom uses Kosas I.V too. Speaking of fortifying the skin barrier, I finally got around to trying the Niod Copper Amino Isolate Lipid 1%. This is not new. I think it came out a couple of years ago. They have their copper amino like in serum form, and this is their lipid form. So it comes out as this really interesting gel texture. It's blue, I think you can see right there, because of the copper peptides or copper aminos. This has the most interesting texture. It just like melts into the skin. So I use this as my very, very last step of skincare. And it turns into this almost like oily jelly texture. I have had a little bit of peeling because I've been like stepping up my tretinoin use. And so this has been amazing for healing my skin. And the first morning after I use this, it's very rare that a skincare product, first of all, will give you overnight results. But this one did. I woke up and I was like, whoa, my skin just looks like a dewy dumpling. What's going on? And I didn't quite make the connection until I used this again the next morning and the next morning. And I have gotten compliments on my skin. I do feel like my skin barrier is stronger and plumper, and it just looks luminous and really, really smooth. So I don't really know the technology behind the copper amino isolates, how exactly they work. That's not my forte. I can just tell you what it feels like, and you really only need very, very little. It's almost like a balm, but thinner than a balm. You just need a tiny, tiny bit over your skin, and it just does something. I'm just saying. I have 2 new Asian SPFs that I've been loving. So I was in Miami last weekend, and I thought it would be a perfect time to test this. This is the Biore Aqua Rich Aqua Protection Lotion, SPF 50 plus PA 4 pluses. There are many Biore SPF formulas. All of them are amazing. This one is fantastic because it's water resistant. So that's why I wanted to bring it. We were spending a lot of time at the pool, at the beach. So it's very fluid. You have to shake it up. And it comes in this cute bottle. And let me just show you. It's a squeezy tube. It's very fluid. And the cool thing about this is that as you apply it, you can almost feel it creating, like setting over your skin, but it's not drying. It's not like an alcohol forward sunscreen setting feeling, even though I do think there is alcohol in here. It just creates like the nicest, almost like a veil over the skin. You can feel it set in place, and I think that's what helps with the water resistance. So I think this is gonna be my face sunscreen for the summer for sure. The other one is from VT, and it's their Cica Essence Sun, SPF 50 plus PA 4 pluses. This one's not water resistant, but look how big this bottle is. This one is, the Biore is 70 milliliters, and this one is 100. So it's huge. This also has a squeezy tube. This one's not as fluid, so you can see it's more of a lotion consistency. And I think if you have oilier skin or you don't like something that's too dewy, this is gonna be a nice option for you. It has like a really green scent to it. I don't think it's added fragrance, but there is Cica in here. So it has a slightly botanical scent, but both of these are all chemical, no white cast. And this one you also feel set down a little bit. Some of the other ones that I love, the other SPFs, for example, like the Isntree, the Beauty of Chosun, the Claire's one, those are a little bit dewier. This one, even though it starts out as a lotion consistency, sets down and doesn't have as much shine. So I think these are both great options for different purposes, but will both be really, really great, especially going into the warmer months. And I just have to give another shout out to my mini Calpac Clear Cosmetics case. This is their small size. I have their large size, and they're also coming out with a medium size, which I'm really excited about because the difference between the mini and the large is very, very big. So they definitely needed a medium size, but this is perfect for a long weekend for me. I did a pack with me video. I'll show you the footage here. Currently it's full of minis, but it holds a ton of stuff. You can also wipe it clean. It's just really well made. So I just have to mention that. I have mentioned it before, but I used it this month, So that's it for skincare. I have to tell you, I have hit the perfume jackpot this last month. You've seen me talk about DS and Durga Pistachio. It's one of the few gourmands I truly, truly love. It's very nutty. It has that toasted nut pistachio scent, but it also has like a creaminess to it from vanilla, but there's also a patchouli heart note, and that patchouli really grounds it and makes it a little bit sexier and muskier and really balances out the sweetness of the gourmands. I am just so amazed at how much I love this. The other one is a new line to me. I had never even heard of this brand. It's called Veronique Gabay. They're French. I don't speak French. I hope my French is okay, but I apologize in advance. It's bougie. She's very fancy. I mean, look how gorgeous this bottle is. I mean, the bottle itself is a work of art. And this is a huge bottle. This is their 85 milliliter, 2.85 ounces. I do think they have a smaller size, and they have like discovery packs and travel sizes if you want to try. But they let me pick out a scent, and I picked out, it's called Sexy Garrigue. I don't know if that's how you say it. I'm gonna pretend I'm bougie. Just listen to these notes. So, Mandarin, Ciste Labdanum, not gonna pretend like I know what that is. Patchouli, vetiver, honeycomb, vanilla, and amber. So I was expecting like a creamy, vanilla-y amber. That's definitely the kind of thing that I do gravitate towards, but this is so much more. So it opens with these like light, fresh notes, and I think that's the mandarin. It's not even citrusy. It just has like this lightness, this freshness. And then it settles into that creamy, ambery note. It's very sexy, and I've been wearing it nonstop. It's also very strong. I do find that the Dia Sandurga fades a little bit more quickly, wears a little bit closer to the skin. This one projects a little bit more, but then it does settle down throughout the day. And it does have these like woody, musky notes, but it's not wood forward. It's just, I don't know, it's somehow light and fresh, but also creamy and musky and sexy at the same time. I think it may be a new signature scent for me. I just love it so much. They're both very, very special scents. And if you share perfume tastes with me, I think you would really love these. And they would both make beautiful gifts. All right, that's it for my beauty favorites. I'm going to save my fashion favorites for another video because I want to talk about them a little bit more in depth. But I do have one final thing, and I think it counts as a beauty favorite because it's a new pillow and it's completely solved my back problems. So I'm a side sleeper. Sometimes I sleep on my back, but generally I'm a side sleeper. And I had a memory foam pillow that I loved, but I've had it for like 6 or 7 years, and it was just flattened by this point, and I was having a lot of neck and shoulder and back pain. I kept throwing out my back for the last couple of months, and I couldn't figure out why, and I finally realized I think it's my pillow. So I found this pillow online. It's called the Zoe Side Sleeper Pillow, and it's a memory foam pillow, but it has a curve in it. I'll insert a picture of it, and the curve is meant to support your neck and your shoulders for side sleepers. It's specifically made for side sleepers, and it is such a game changer because I also have a memory foam body pillow that I sleep with. It's very high maintenance, I know, but I'm able to like use my body pillow on my side, and then I have this like little corner of that pillow that supports my neck and shoulders, and it's amazing. It did take me a couple of nights to figure out how like full I wanted the pillow to be because you can adjust the stuffing. But once I figured it out, I've been just sleeping like a baby. It's amazing. So I had to include that because I did post about it on Instagram and several people were curious. So I think it's one of those things that we all need, but it's not like a fun thing to talk about. Okay, that is it for my February favorites. I'm so happy January and February are over. They're my least favorite months. January's too long, February's too short, March is here, spring is coming, I can feel like new energy happening, and I'm really happy to be here on YouTube. I really feel like I've found my thing here, and I'm just excited to be putting out more content and engaging with you guys. It's just been a really joyful place for me. So I hope you feel that too, and thank you for being here. I would love for you to subscribe. Come find me on Instagram, can find me on TikTok, all of the things. Let's hang out more, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.